SsangYong's Korando sports pickup aims to redefine the value proposition for customers in this segment and provide them with rugged but car-like transport. Better to drive and more affordable than its competitors, yet better equipped, it's a 5-seat double cab design that's as practical as you'd want and comes complete with the support of arguably the best after-sales warranty package in the business. If you're buying in this sector, you probably won't have been considering one. Perhaps you should. Now, it might not be overstating things to suggest that this SsangYong Korando sports pickup is the brand's most important model yet. While this growing South Korean maker's passenger car models must battle with badge prejudice against more established rivals, this product sells to pickup people who've usually no such hang-ups. They simply want the toughest, best value vehicle their funds can give them. And this could very well be it. SsangYong likes to think of this Korando sports pickup less as a commercial carrier and more as a passenger car with pickup versatility. A blend of the suspension, engine and cabin finesse of a passenger car, the space, silhouette and seating for 5 that's typical of a double cab, and the rugged, workmanlike ability of a commercial pickup. We've heard that claim before, of course, from the established players in this sector, but applied to vehicles that cost more and offer less. Pound for pound, this one's different. Benchmarked against the best, but priced to your pocket. Let's check it out. Proper pickups must come with a proper separate frame chassis, the mark of a serious off-roader. This may not be a recipe for car-like handling, but it'll deliver you a vehicle fit for purpose anywhere from the sands of the Serengeti to the pampas of Patagonia, or as in this case, from the industrial estates of Ilford to the building sites of Bolton. It's a formula that all serious contenders in this class use, but some have perfected it for pavement better than others. SsangYong, for example. Now, you wouldn't call this Korando's ride absorbent, but if you're used to the crude, bumpy experience that most other pickups provide, then it'll be impressive. Enough, perhaps, to make the difference between having to buy an additional conventional car for driving around in when the workday's finished, or continuing to rely on the varied talents of this SsangYong. And there's a reason for this. This Korando sports pickup is the only vehicle in its sector to use conventional coil-sprung suspension rather than a more rudimentary leaf-sprung setup. That's what you get with most rivals. And it makes all the difference to the way that this vehicle feels on tarmac. Around town, it'll feel much like one of the better rugged SUVs to drive, with urban manoeuvrability further aided by a surprisingly tight 6.2 metre turning circle. Under the bonnet lies a piece of technology the brand is especially proud of. Its 2-litre EXDI active diesel engine. Now, first and foremost, I want to say that this is the most refined diesel in this sector, far more refined than something like, say, an Isuzu D-Max. It's one of the key reasons why this car's cabin is so much quieter than other pickups of its type when you're cruising, say, on the motorway. And it's also important to note that this engine puts out more power than the baseline versions of many rivals, 155 PS, and has been optimised for torque, for pulling power. There's 360 Newton meters of it between 1500 and 2800 RPM. That's enough to, for example, haul a brake trailer of up to 2.3 tonnes in weight. Flat out, you'll cruise easily at and just above the legal limit, powering forward until this spherical aerodynamics bring a stop to the proceedings at 107 miles an hour. Off-road, this Korando's more than ready to get tough on the rough stuff. It uses a selectable part-time four-wheel drive system that's been reliably proven over some of the most difficult and demanding terrain in the world, aided by design that optimises this pickup for both gradient and waterlogged ground. So you can start off on a slope of up to 22.6 degrees, or up to 30 degrees if you're in the automatic version, and tackle all but the most extreme ascents and descents thanks to a healthy 25-degree angle for both approach and departure, courtesy of short overhangs. There's a useful 20-degree ramp angle and ground clearance of up to 188mm at the front and 212mm at the rear. SsangYong design has come a long way since the awkwardly styled Ken Greenly penned Musso pickup that was this Korando's direct predecessor. Premium brands don't sell in this sector, but if they did, a dynamic yet sophisticated look would epitomise the kind of shape they would want to deliver. Something like this? You might well think so. The mesh front grille, the trapezoidal bumper and the smart black headlamp bezels combine to create a purposeful front end. While in profile, a sharp belt line runs to the rear bumper, emphasising a sleek and to some eyes even mildly sporting stance. Inside, there's a light and airy environment thanks to the large front, side and rear windows, while the careful blending of dark and metallic finishes on the dash, along with an illuminated LED cluster in the instrument binnacle, has created a neat, smart-looking interior. It's at the rear, though, where this Korando Sports pickup holds the most important advantage over its direct rivals. Get past this jutting door corner and take a seat inside and you'll find out why. The back seat in many a double cab pickup often comes across as being something of an afterthought, cramped for the feet and uncomfortably upright for the back. There's none of that here. Though I'd like to have seen a middle occupant 3-point seat belt, you certainly can't fault the space on offer with plenty of room for legs, knees, shoulders and heads. And rather uniquely, you can even recline this backrest by up to 29 degrees. Or indeed, if you need more storage space, fold it completely forward. Now, that's what you'll have to do to access this rather neat storage box, there to keep really valuable items away from prying eyes. Pickup pricing has become pretty unacceptable to many potential purchasers in this segment. A rival Ford Ranger, a large Mitsubishi L200 or a tough Toyota Hilux may all tempt you, but their asking prices won't. Nor will the amount of extra money you'll have to spend on them to get the complete spec you'll probably want. Now, take their total proposition, then tot it up alongside that which SsangYong have for you here. And what's that? Well, as a rough rule of thumb, a Korando Sports pickup can be yours for pretty much the same amount, including VAT, as competitors will cost you excluding it. In other words, this SsangYong enjoys a price advantage of around 20% over its competition. To be more specific, you'll need a budget of not much more than £15,000 excluding VAT, around £18,000 including it. That's for the entry-level version, the SX. If you want to stretch to the plusher EX variant that I've got here, then you're looking at just over £17,000 excluding VAT and around £20,000 including it. This also gives you the option of choosing an EXT model, complete with a hardtop for the pickup bay. To match SsangYong's pricing, you'd probably have to buy one of the established contenders second-hand, and even then, you'd have to do without some of the kit that comes as standard across the range here. Now, that tally runs to alloy wheels, tinted glass, a hill start assist system to stop you from drifting backwards on uphill junctions, an alarm immobilizer, air conditioning, Bluetooth compatibility for your mobile phone, a trip computer, leather covering for the gear knob, and for a steering wheel from which you can control a high-quality Kenwood MP3 and RDS 4-speaker audio system, which comes complete with USB and AUX in ports. It's also nice to find a spare wheel fitted across the range in an age when so often that's replaced by a fiddly puncture repair kit. Go as I have here for the top spec EX model, and you also get leather seats that are heated at the front and offer 8-way electrical adjustment for the driver, power folding mirrors and an upgrade to larger 18-inch alloy wheels. At this level, you've also got the choice of a 6-speed automatic gearbox, which comes with built-in electronic cruise control. Now, right across the Korando sports pickup range, safety is as strong as you'd expect it to be, with driver and front passenger airbags, a 4-channel anti-lock braking system, ESP stability control with ARP active rollover protection, and Isofix child seat fastenings. Many owners will want to choose this EXT version with its rigid pickup bay hardtop for all-weather protection and low-bay security. Now, it includes a hinged rear window that closes behind the tailgate so that the car's central locking secures and protects the contents of the load bay. And it's been styled and colour matched with the rest of the vehicle, so it won't look like an afterthought as many retrofit hardtops do. But what about that load bay? Well, SsangYong's car-like claims for this Korando sports pickup might lead you to assume some commercial compromise in the amount of space that's available, but that's not the case. You've got a large flat load area that's 2.04 square metres in size, so it's easily big enough for a standard Euro pallet. And it comes with a standard load deck liner and plenty of tie-down points so that you can secure loads from moving about when you're on the move. And can those items be really heavy? Well, yes, up to a point. The use of car-like coil springs rather than the more utilitarian leaf-sprung setup you'd find normally on a pickup means that this Korando can't quite boast the 1-ton payload offered by some rivals. But what you do get, a payload of between 630 and 645 kilograms, depending on your choice between manual or automatic transmission, should be sufficient for most. As for running costs, well, you won't be expecting a pickup with a gross vehicle weight of over 2.7 tonnes to be especially frugal, so the return in this case, a quoted 37.7 miles per gallon on the combined cycle for the manual model, may be better than you might have feared. Choosing the automatic gearbox doesn't have too much of an effect on this, but it does have slightly more of an impact on CO2 emissions that rise from 199 grams per kilometre in the manual to 212 grams per kilometre in the automatic. That leaves ownership peace of mind, something that SsangYong likes to specialise in providing. This vehicle covered by a 5-year Limitless warranty that's best in class. And Limitless means exactly that. If you scan the fine print in most manufacturer warranties, you'll find a mileage condition. It doesn't apply here, so even if you're planning to continually traverse the globe in your Korando sports pickup, all its major components will be covered. So that means things like wheel bearings, suspension joints and bushes, steering joints, shock absorbers, even the audio system. Components that could have their life reduced by poor driving, things like clutch discs and brake friction components, well, they're covered by a 1-year 12,000 mile warranty, and you get 3-year cover for the paintwork and the battery. There's a lot to think about when it comes to picking out a pickup. Now, you're buying one in the first place because you want practical, go-anywhere ruggedness. Yet, if at least some of the time it's got to serve as your only means of transport, then you're also going to need car-like qualities. Real refinement, supple suspension and a comfortable cabin. Ideally, you'd want all of this, a high specification and a price that reads like a misprint. You'd be asking for a lot. There are, it's true, more sophisticated, higher profile choices you could make in this segment, but all are painfully pricey and in most cases fairly crude to drive on road. This, the alternative, is not only as honest, reliable and highly capable as every pickup should be, but crucially, thanks to its car-like coil suspension, also better suited to a life on tarmac than any of its contemporaries. Plus there's the after-sales support that every pickup should have, and even a bit of a sense of style. All from a brand you've maybe never heard of, but might like to start to get to know. Korea Can Do is what the name Korando stands for. Try one of these and you might well start to believe it.